Hey guys, Xolts here. Today we're going to be doing a complete motion tracking tutorial. I'm going to go through both After Effects and Element and Boujou and Cinema 4D. I'm going to do the Boujou and Cinema 4D part first because that's personally what I use. But I'm actually going to be going through and getting the cinematic too. So we'll be doing that right now. It's going to be on Black Ops 2. Just keep it very simple. And I need to change that to windowed full screen. It's just so I can get over to my OBS and whatnot a little easier. So I have my field of view set at 70, but you can turn it up, turn it down, however you like. It really does not. It's just personal preference. So just go into custom games, get a map, whatever map you're gonna do. I'm just gonna do standoff because it's already on here. Okay, so then I'm gonna be doing a very basic cinematic. It's not gonna be anything crazy. I'm probably just gonna go straight forward or straight back. Not entirely sure right now, but we'll see. Okay. So you don't have to stay in the game too long unless you're getting like a player cinematic. Oh Jesus Christ! What is this sensitivity? This does not feel like 2. I'm going like, what the fuck? Okay, that's too low. That's bad. It's so weird. This does not feel right at all. It's got like acceleration on or something. This is fucked. Disabled, bitch. I don't know what a gamepad is. Probably like a controller or something. Okay, so this has been long enough. This feels weird. This is not... I don't know if you guys can see how the way it looks, but it like... You notice how it like goes super far in one direction randomly? Like that? I'm moving my my mouse back and forth to the same... I don't know, that's weird. So I could just go ahead and end the game. You don't need it. We're going to go into... what's it called? Theater mode, and we're going to get the cinematic, and then well, it's already recording. Shoot, how am I going to do that? You can't record twice. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, so you're going to go back. Leave lobby, yes. Not custom games. Theater. Select film. You're just going to get your recent game going. Start film. And whatnot.
Free for all.
Okay. I just like to pause it real quick, get into my free camera mode. Yeah, so this is feeling... I can't even do the cinematics like this either. Is it because it's in windowed full screen? That might actually be what it is. No, it's not. Why is it like that? This is unusable. I can't do this. I actually don't know what's going on, but I'm getting very upset. Whatever, I'll figure it out for this. I'm just gonna do something simple. I can't. This is so hard to control. Like even worse than normal. Like what it. Like look, I'm gonna move it back and forth to the same. See how it's slightly going to the left there? That shouldn't be happening. Okay, anyway, we're just gonna get our cinematic here. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? This shouldn't be too hard to pick. We'll just be going straight back from here. So left click to go into your camera mode. I'm gonna start right here. F to insert camera marker. I thought I changed that to E. Whatever. Let it go on a little bit and go up and out. And then this is so hard to control. I'll just a little longer. Okay, so that's fine. Good enough. And then if you left click one more time, you're gonna go to dolly mode. I'm gonna turn the speed down just to get a higher FPS. And all you do is you toggle the controls and you toggle the HUD, and then you hit play and you let the cinematic record. I have to stop my actual OBS recording to do this. So yeah, I'll be right back. T for motion track. Say that to the desktop, and you're gonna click render. Pretty easy step here. And while this is gonna render out here, we'll go ahead and open up Boujou and get that started. It's not gonna take too long to open up, so might open up Cinema 4D too. I don't know. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so we will wait for that to finish. Almost done. Not too bad. Boom, it's done. Go ahead and close out of that. Don't worry about saving, because, well, if you should be doing this in your edit that you're doing. So you're just gonna go to import sequence, and you're gonna find where it's at. So go ahead and do this. It's in this. Right there, you're gonna click open, and it should automatically recognize that a sequence. So once you put open, it should get all the frames. You're gonna have to put the frame rate up to 60, hit apply, and then do it one more time just to make sure it's at 60, because it goes down. Sometimes it goes down to 24 again. I don't know why, but it does. Okay, so once you get to this, you're gonna put track features, go to advanced, and set the sensitivity all the way up. Don't worry about any of that. Hit start. So this part's gonna take the longest out of the two parts that we're gonna do in here, but it doesn't take too long. So I will, I guess we'll just stay here. Fuck it. I don't want less editing for me to do. Says the editor. Okay. So this is, yeah. How you guys doing? I'm doing fantastic. Just started a new job. That's fun. Oh, okay. So another thing. It honestly depends on what you want to do. If you're going to do compositing and make the text look realistic, Element 3D is easier for that. But if you're going to do like what I do most of the time is like use a general white text, Cinema 4D, in my personal opinion, is better for that. I just feel like it looks nicer and it's easier to do. So that's just my opinion. What the fuck? Alright, let's wait for this to go because it's taking forever. It's usually just not that. Well, it's probably because I'm recording at a high bit rate. Okay, so once this is done here, you'll get this. Your sequences, unless you go over something, should just be at 1. So if you have like a more complex one, you might have 5 or 6 or however many, I don't know. So you're just going to go to camera solve here, and don't hit anything else. Don't hit optimize camera path smoothness unless you have a complex one. This is very simple. Don't worry about it. Just hit start. Shouldn't take too long. This process is usually pretty quick. And then you're gonna get this sequence that has a bunch of dots. The blue dots are gonna be the good dots. The yellow dots are gonna be the not as good dots, but that's okay. So then you're just gonna go to scene geometry, and you're gonna add 3 coordinates from hint. You're gonna make one the x coordinate, and then you're gonna get one like just 2 points that are left and right. They don't have to be absolutely perfect, just good enough. So you're just gonna click one, hit control, click the other, hit connect is selected, update coordinate hint, or wait, yeah, or coordinate frame. Then you're gonna get an origin. You're gonna get in the middle of those two. Connect is selected, update. Then you're gonna get a y-axis, and just get top and the bottom. Connect, update, and close. So if you want to add a test object, this is where you do it. Go ahead and rotate that so it looks a little nicer. Move it, not crop, move it back a little bit. Move it a little bit forward, move it up. And you're just going to make sure that it's nice and motion track. That looks fine. Don't worry about that, delete it. Okay, so once you get here, you're going to hit export camera solve, because that's what you're exporting. And you're going to get this, make sure it's Cinema 4D, browse, and I always just put it in my desktop with the actual motion track part. And put motion track 1 or whatever you're doing. You're going to hit use format default, start index at 0. And scale scene by 100. Hit save, and you're good to go. Don't worry about that. You can save it if you want. I don't really care enough to save it. So now we're going to go into Cinema 4D. It does not matter which one you have. So if you have R13 all the way up to R19, does not matter. But yeah, just whatever you have. So once you come in here, you're going to go ahead and open up the one you have. So right here, you're going to go down to it, open it up, and it's going to come up with here. Don't hit any of this. It should default to 10 centimeters with lights and textures on and split sections off. Just hit OK there. Then you're going to, I think if you actually drag, so just go ahead and grab one of these images here, just drag it in here, and it'll create a matte for it, or like a, yeah, material. So you're going to color in this texture right here, click on that little preview here, you're going to go to animation and calculate, and it'll calculate all the frames in here with the frame rate. So once that's done, you can go into here, hold and click, add a background, then just drag this up to the background, and now you have a moving thing. So it doesn't look like it's moving, but if you render it out, it is moving. So I'm just going to come up here close-ish. Right there looks fine. And we're going to add some mode text. So add mode text, you're going to mode graph, click and hold, and you're going to go down to mode text. So this text we're going to set as test motion track. Or we'll just do test text. Make it a little better. So you're just going to pick up whatever font that you like to use. Personally, I usually go for typograph or couture. So we're just going to use this right here. And then all you got to do really is, first of all, change that. We're going to make the height less than that because that's way too big. Change that a little bit, make it a little thicker. And you're going to caps, fillet cap for both of them. And then set the steps to 100 and the radius to something small. So I do 100.8 usually. It just makes it look smoother. I'm gonna line middle just because pet peeves, to be honest. So you're just gonna get it so where it looks good, honestly. So I usually just go to the first frame because then you can see the best. But just get it to where it looks nice and aligned and everything. Move it back just a little, maybe. So if you move this, no, not that. If you go up here and you rotate or move or anything, don't worry. You can go back just by going a frame forward, a frame back, whatever. That's just almost too far back. So we'll go just a little bit farther forward. A little bit farther forward. Right there. Okay. Let me just make sure this just looks decent enough. Looks like it's... Maybe it could come a little bit forward. Okay. Come a little forward. So the text looks terrible right now. Yes, it does. And I'm actually going to change this a little bit. Horizontal spacing, maybe 5, way too big. 1 looks good. I'm going to change the caps. I'm going to turn the radius up just a little bit. Maybe 1.2, just to make it look, I want to make it look a little more smooth. Okay, so next you're going to, so come in here, go to Effect. You're going to add Ambient Occlusion and Global Illumination. And so once you do that, it's going to take a little longer to render. We need to add lights, but don't worry, that's fine. Now you're going to come down here, you're going to create the actual material. If you go into here, you're going to change the, shoot, how do I do this? Right click, yeah, you're going to right click up here in the top left, and you're going to go to Object, Soft Shadowed, and then you're going to go into the color, make it whatever color. I usually do just a little lighter than that, and then the, you can add a text and do that this way. I'm not going to worry about that because I'm just going to do straight white. Add a little tiny displacement. So you're going to go to texture and you're going to get a noise. And I'm going to put strength at 5% and height at 1% or 1 centimeter. So nothing strong at all. You can add glows or whatever else. I'm just going to do that for right now. Add it to the text, and then you're going to get a light. And I usually use area lights. So that's what I like to do. You can do whatever you would like to do. That's just me. So if we're going to come up in here and just point them, I'm going to use probably 2 or 3. Command C, Command V. Point them that way a little bit. And so now if you come and do this, you're going to have more realistic shadows on the actual text. So now you're going to come in here and go to shadow, and you're going to add shadow map soft for both of them. Turn the sensitivity down, and there's a shadow like pass it down, and now you're going to have nice looking shadows along the text. I think I need to actually turn that a little bit, so let me do that. Just rotate just a little bit, not too much. Okay, now let's see how that looks. That's actually looking really nice. So once you do that, you can mess around with other lights if you want. So sometimes I'll put like an actual just regular light up here and here just to get nice deeper shadows. I think this looks fine, so I'm going to keep this. And then all you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and delete that background. Yes, just delete the background. Go into edit render settings. You're going to output it. Make sure you get frame range, all frames, and then save. This is what we're going to do. You're going to put it as a PNG and make sure you click this alpha channel here, and that's going to get this clear background. So you're going to just go ahead and pick where to change it or save it. So I'm going to save it as image again. I need to make another folder. So always make sure you make a new folder, otherwise it's going to, so put it as motion track final, or motion track text actually. And then we'll put that in that folder, save. And then all you're going to do is you're going to click render, and you're going to wait for it to be done. So I will come back actually once this is done, and we'll get back to the next step. Okay, now that the render is done there, we'll go ahead and close out. Sure, we can save changes to that because it's not going to do anything. We're going to go back into After Effects. Wait for it to load up here now. Okay, you're coming here. You're just going to drag in. So right or double left click, you can go and import. Go to your desktop. That's what it's called. Maybe. Oh, I'm already on here. Motion track text. Click the first one. PNG sequence import. Do the same thing. Desktop. Motion track. PNG import. JPEG import. Whatever. And then go to right click, interpret main, and change them to 60 FPS, both of them. Interpret main to 60 FPS. Then you can just create a new composition with that one. Drag this on top here, and you have your text. It's nice and motion tracked. Okay, so it's a little too turned. Oh well. So what I do to make it look a little more realistic, you can just hit Control D to duplicate, and we're going to get a fill on the bottom layer here. Okay, I need to rename this just because it's pissing me off. Text main name shadow. Oh Jesus. Okay, so fill black, hit OK, and then go to your blurs, and you're gonna get a fast blur. Gaussian blur will work as well. It does not matter, just really preference. And you're just gonna go to where you're comfortable with the amount. Oh shit. With the amount of shadow you're gonna have, because obviously it's gonna be right behind the text. So, and then you're gonna go ahead and duplicate the text one, and it's gonna be curves. So if you can't guess what I'm doing, you're gonna need some curves. Put them in here, and I'm just gonna make everything darker. Why is that not? Actually, I really like how that kind of looks a little bit. So if I do like an extreme, and then kind of set the opacity to like 50 maybe. I actually like the way that looks a lot. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to get a camera lens blur, and you're going to put it on the background. But that's obviously way too much. So you're going to get a blur radius, maybe like a 0.5, maybe. Yeah, a little higher. And then you're also going to get a blur for these. So just gonna come into the main one here and add a Gaussian blur. Where is it at? And you're gonna set the blurriness to like 0.5, and this is just to make it blend in with the text or the background just a little bit more. Okay, that's too high, so we'll go 2. Because otherwise the text just looks way too high quality for the okay, way too high of quality for the actual environment that you have it in. I should have moved this up. It's way too low. Oh well. So then you can come in here and add a new adjustment layer all to the top of it, and you're going to get some curves again. And this really depends on what kind of thing you're doing. So I'm going to raise the brights up a little bit and get the dark. That's the wrong way to do it. Get the darks down a little bit. Get this, and it just makes it look a little nicer. And then, so if you want to do something like the way I did it in my whatchamacallit, talking to myself, just duplicate the text, put it below. You can get rid of the Gaussian because you're going to change it up a little bit. So if you make this the only layer you can see, you can do a lot of things to it. So let's put a gradient, whatever it's called, 4-color gradient. I'll put this on here, and then I'm going to change the points here to right where the text is. And since it's getting bigger or smaller, you don't really need to change them. But if it's getting bigger on your screen, you're going to need to change it. Actually, I do need to change them because it's going down. So just keyframe the positions, go to the end, and change them. Obviously, do them better if you want to do them better. I don't really care, so I'm not going to worry about it. But it's good enough. So then you can add some sort of like displacement. So if I just go to Effect and Distort, you can really mess around here. Let's just do. I'm not sure. What was the what did I use in the beginning? It was in Sapphire, I believe. Is it Distort Chroma? No, it definitely was. So the blurriness you're gonna turn way up. Maybe turn the amount way down. Yeah, okay. So 0.1 looks like a decent one. And you can really just mess around and add whatever. So we're gonna come here and add another one. I'm just gonna pick a random one. Just kind of figure out what looks good. Angle, not like that. That does not look good at all. We're gonna get a different one. Let's look at Warp Vortex. That looks like ass too. Warp. Bubble, maybe? This will look decent. So I'll turn the amplitude obviously down. I'm going to do 0.01, I think. So then if this is behind this, it obviously looks like ass. So this is where we're going to get a nice blur. Set it to maybe 20. Not quite. That's way too high. Jesus. Like 5. Set the, you can either change the mode to be like an overlay so you can just see that behind it. Or an add to make it look kind of like that, and then change the opacity down to like 25, if even. A little less than that, like 15. You can really just mess around and see what works for you. So if you're gonna see this is gonna, you can't really see it moving, so we're gonna add. I'm just gonna add a little wave warp to it. The height to 5, length to 100. And then we'll see how this looks here at full speed before I just go ahead and, yeah. Maybe. It's just taking a little while. And obviously your color correction will make it look even nicer than this will. So you can see text stays right there, it looks nice. I think the shadows are a little too low. Let me just add another one. Yeah, so that's basically all you need to do. And then if you want, so yeah, that's how you do it with the Cinema 4D. And then now we're gonna move over to how to do it in actual After Effects with everything. So instead of recreating a new entire thing, we're just gonna go ahead and delete these things. Delete, delete, delete. Okay, so go ahead and make a new composition. Then you're going to right click, camera, no, whatever, let's go here. If you find the 3D camera tracker, just put it in there. And then make sure to go to advanced and detailed analysis, and then you can let it do its thing. Also, I'll show you actually. I don't think it's going to show up for me, so we'll figure it out here together. This one I feel like takes a little bit, so, well, obviously because it's motion tracking, so it is going to take a little bit, and also depending on how long your clip is and whatnot, but we'll see. Maybe. This is taking a while. Okay. Okay, it's all on camera. This is where it doesn't take as long, I think, hopefully. Maybe. Okay, so you see this right here. It doesn't show anything, so you're just gonna go to view and you're going to show layer controls. Okay, there's a problem here. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I just had to be actually on it. So if you don't see those things, you might have the show layer controls off. So even if I click on this, I can't see it. So just go into your view and click show layer controls so you can actually see it. So you're gonna try to find a good one that's nice and flat. I'm just going to pick this one because it's right in the center of those two. You're just going to right click, create null in camera, and you're going to need this track null for the position for later. So, sorry, that's what it's for. Okay, then you're going to right click, create a new text, call that text. If I can even type, Jesus. Whatever you want to call it, does not matter. Then create a new solid. Right click, rename element. Okay, so then you're gonna get what you're doing here. You're gonna get element in here. Okay, perfect. You're gonna go into custom layers, custom text and maps. You're gonna get the path layer of one. Click text, whatever text you're doing. Then go into custom texture maps and put the layer as the image or the background, whatever you're doing. Then also go into, I think it's render settings. Gonna go into ambient occlusion, turn ambient occlusion up. You're gonna need to change the settings later, but this is just to see. You're gonna go to scene setup. Right now, click extrude. Now you have your nice text. I like to just drag it up a little bit so I can see it out here and not there because it's annoying. Go ahead and click OK right now. So I just want to see this actual text and figure out. You just gotta find a nice background. So go back into scene setup here quickly. I'm gonna make this a little smaller. So you're gonna go into your presets, go to Pro Shaders. If you don't have it, find it because you're gonna need it. And you're just gonna find something to sort of blend in with the environment here. So you can find like a ground, get some dirt or something. Sort of like a more organic look. Stone would be decent here. Most of the time you're gonna use metal just because it looks the best. So we're gonna use one of this metal grunge here. You're just gonna drag it on top of the text layer. It'll show up. Click OK. And there you see it. So now you're going to get into position. So you're going to go into the group 1 here because that's where the text is in path layer 1. So go to group 1 and the particle look, and then particle is not size. Am I stupid here? Is it world? What is this? Where's the position? I don't know if I'm being stupid or not, but particle replicator? Oh, it isn't particle replicator. Okay, awkward. So just making your position here. This is going to be your X, Y, then Z. So it is Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. So as you can see, it's terribly tiny. So you can just increase your particle size. And then you need to change rotation and whatnot as you see fit. So I'm gonna probably change that texture. I don't like that the way that texture is looking right now. That's a little too far. 22 looks good, or 20 looks good. Actually, it's not quite. Let's go 15. Yeah, a little too far. 18. Nice middle. Y rotation, not too terribly far. Maybe like 2 or 3. And Z rotation, I don't think we're gonna need. So I don't know quite where this is at. Okay, so this is where you can go into your position X and Y, and you can just sort of figure out where to put it. So we just need to perfect and change. So this is the way the text's looking. So once you get this, I really don't like the way that text looks. So we're gonna pick a different pro shaders. Maybe actually, honestly, maybe try some dirt for the dirt that's down here. That looks like ass. That actually looks terrible. It really just, it's just about maybe some sand. That can't be like that, can it? It can. Okay, this looks terrible. We're gonna go get maybe concrete. How bad can that look? Pretty bad. Pro shaders, I am not impressed right now. Oh, this obviously looked like a gold. I didn't put it on there. Okay, gotta apply. There you go. Oh my god, nice. Gold mite. That looks terrible. Don't ever do that. It looks actually terrible. Oh, this is just environments. Bevels. Okay, don't worry about those. Why does it all look so bad? I guess we're gonna have to find a metal that we like. Maybe brush metal. I mean, it doesn't look good, but it doesn't look terrible. Okay, so once you come into here, you're gonna want to go into your ambient occlusion, which is in render settings again, and figure out the different shadows you want to use. So that's turn it down to 20, then turn the radius to like 5. Samples, if you can, nicer. We'll just figure out a nice looking one. So we'll go to like 55, and we'll keep it there. So that looks pretty decent. Obviously, if you no, let's keep it as is. And then shadows, hit enable, and then lighting. You can add some lighting from here. Do kind of just whatever. Maybe like a nice warm lighting wouldn't look too bad here. Actually, I think I like that warm. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so another way you're going to do some lighting is you're going to... Okay, you're going to right click. I think how do you add a light? How do you add a light? I know how to do this, I promise. Maybe it's down here. New Lights, yep. So you're gonna try to get a color that matches the environment, kind of. This does, kind of like a sky. Um, what is this? So you're gonna put your positioning. So your target positioning, which is under light options. Is it not? Where's Oh, point of interest. So you're gonna get the same positions from this, or not this actually, not anymore. From this. So where is it? It'll be in group one. Okay, so your X, your okay, I don't like this. Your Y, and your Z, which is in here. And you just kind of move it back or forth or wherever. So if I'm gonna come back to the very last frame because you want to try to get Jesus. Nice and looking realistic as hell. And then we'll go to fit. Okay, and so then the way you can do shadows is you can do the same thing that you did before. Or actually, shoot, I gotta add key correct or key color color key color key. Is that what it is? Color key? That doesn't sound right. It's like color matcher. That's what it is. So you're just gonna go onto the element color matcher target layer. You're gonna change it to that, and see that looks a lot nicer. So you can change the strength from 100 all the way down to 0. We'll just keep it as a 50. That actually, I like the way that looks, so we'll keep it as that. Um, and actually, I just want to change this just so it's a little different because it doesn't look all too. I'll just change it to Exol Presents, if I can spell right. Okay, and I'm actually just gonna move. I know I'm kind of cheating here. I'm gonna move the position Y down a little bit, just a little tiny bit. And we need to change rotation actually too. Oopsies, Z, I think it is. No. No. X will go 15. Right there. Okay, so once you have that, to do shadows, you can do it one of two ways. You can just duplicate this and do the same way we did the last one by getting a fill, changing it to black, and then getting a fast blur, changing that to like 25. And you can do it something like that, or keep it a little. You can do something like this, and which will look, it's gonna look decent. But just to make it look a little more realistic, what we can do is you can come into Element, go to Scene Setup. You're going to go to Create a Plane, and then you're gonna move this into its own group, and you're gonna change it to 2. And then once you're on this, we're going to rotate. So make this bigger. Okay, we're gonna rotate until you get a nice, yeah. Click OK, and that's gonna be in there. And then the same thing, you're gonna get positions. So we're just gonna copy the positions from group 1 to group 2. So group 2 particle replicator position. And you're gonna have to copy the rotations and everything too, just to make sure. So I get the Z, position Z, place. So then make sure you get the size. So you're going to need to go into, where is particle look? I think. Yeah. So if you see the nice, yeah. So then I'm gonna go. Where is? I'm trying to think here. Okay. So you're just gonna try to get it to match right behind it perfectly. So now we're gonna go into rotation. So we'll just copy the rotations actually. So 15 and 2. That's a little too much, so we'll just go 10 maybe. Looks a little better. And you're just gonna want to make it look. No, go away. Okay, I'm recording. Go away, please. Thank you. Turn the light off and go. I don't have any. Go. Goodbye. Go away. Okay, so you're just gonna try to get it to match kind of the background here and the little like things, like the actual scene. So that just means you mess with the rotations just a tad bit, just to don't have to worry about that as much. It's already pretty decent. We'll change maybe 11%. I'm thinking is no, it's not quite. It's a little more than 11. I think it actually is like 15. Yeah, it is. Okay, so then you're gonna go into. Okay, you're gonna go back into scene setup, and you're gonna come down to. Make sure you're in that, and then it's. I'm trying to think here. How do you do this? I know this. I know this. I know this. How do you? Okay, give me a second here. I know this. I know what I'm doing. I promise. If you have this, you have no. Why? This looks different than normal. Now I'm confused. Try to add anything to this. Try to actually add a material. I'm not sure, to be honest. We'll go with plastic and just get a nice white plastic on this bad boy. How do you do this? I don't remember. It's actually kind of cool. There's a Coke can. Okay, I don't need that. So you need to make this. Oh, you go into this. Yeah, so you have to add it going to here, and then you're going to go to. Which one is it? Visible to camera. But you can receive shadows. Don't cast shadows. You can receive shadows. Hit OK. No. You can cast shadows. No. You are visible to camera, though. Oh, you're a matte shadow. Jesus. There you go. Okay, so there you go. Now you got realistic shadows all the way around. And then you can do the same thing that I showed with the Cinema 4D, and you can go in, edit curves and whatnot, just to make the brights come out and the darks go down. And you can see this looks a little bit nicer. I do need to. That doesn't look good. Let me move this down. Go more directly in front of it. And then we'll change that spotlight. Light options. Intensity. Maybe just 50% from now on. Okay. I do need to change that up though, because that does. I don't. I need that light. No, I don't. Okay. I don't know why that's still showing up super light. Actually not affecting anything. So we don't need that, so we'll just get rid of it. because it's fucking up the shadows. Actually, I can just take off the shadows, I believe, can't I? Yeah, cast shadows off. So there you go. You have shadows now. You have a nice looking text that matches the environment somewhat. And yeah, there you go. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe for more. Pretty, I guess, hopefully decent. I don't know. It's been Exalt, and see ya.